On this episode of Tea Time.
It's a constant prayer every day is, Lord, let me see myself the way you see me.
Yeah.
Because if I see myself the way he sees me, then I see love.
Good morning, good evening, good night. My name is Key.
I'm Courtney,
Queen Fee,
Crystal,
and Jordy.
And we are
RealFreinds. So in this edition of Tea Time, which is just our girl chat session, we are going to be talking about self-love. Just like with any of our shows, this is our opinion. Feel free to agree or disagree. Leave it in the comments below. And as usual, if you have any comments or topics that you would love for us to discuss in Tea Time, please let us know by putting that in our comments as well. But we're going to take it away today with self-love.
And self-love is the regard for one's own well-being and happiness.
As given to us by who?
Who was that?
That's Webster.
Webster.
Thank you, Webster.
Allegedly Webster.
Thank you, Webster.
So, y'all know I watched, and I think I sent it to y'all, hurtbae. Right, and it's from the scene. And so basically what hurtbae is it's a couple or ex-couple, and they sit down face to face with one another, and they basically talk about their relationship. They talk about the good parts of their relationship and then the bad parts of their relationship. And majority of their bad parts was infidelity on the guy's part. And so he basically gets into detail upon detail about what he did with other females with the relationship. And she stayed throughout most of it. I didn't really finish it because it kind of just it kind of put a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. But I got the gist of it, and he basically told her, you know, that she was the perfect girlfriend. She was a beautiful young lady. She was smart and educated, but it basically said he couldn't get right. And so my question today is, when do you guys feel like enough is enough, and you have to basically put yourself first in the situation? Because when he sat there and talked to her about detail upon, he dissected sufficiently that I was just kind of like, you know, sometimes you just don't need to know, but you just go to the doctor and you go get checked. You know? But he basically was like, I slept with other girls and I cheated on you, but at the same time it was like there was nothing, you weren't the issue.
Yeah.
So how does that handle, what is that affect to your self-esteem? Like when you're in a relationship and there's chronic cheating.
Yeah, girl, that's chronic cheating. That's a phrase.
Yeah, but then at the same time, he's telling you that you didn't do anything wrong, but there has to be some sort of disconnect.
So make you feel some type.
Yeah, so you know.
And if I'm not mistaken with the hurtbae, and I didn't really watch it all like that, but there were instances that he was talking about that she was aware of before the show.
Right.
So it wasn't all like, okay, let me come here and sit you down, and now you are hearing about a lot of these indiscretions for the first time. Right. Some might have been a shock, but it sounded like she knew. And I think she said herself she walked in on some stuff.
And that's what I was going to say when you said when do you know enough is enough? I think when it just gets disrespectful. Right. Because I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but what I did watch, while I was watching it, one of the parts was he was at home and she showed up and he had a girl in his bed.
And he told her to leave.
He told the girlfriend to leave. Now at that point, I don't know what he did leading up to that, but at that point, enough is enough. Right. Because you should never, and this is something as women we have to learn, you should never put up with anything like that. And that's just me. Like, it's okay to, you know, we have our disagreements or we have our misunderstandings, and maybe you did something because you're young right now and you're not thinking maturely. Yeah. But anytime you disrespect me with another woman and make her feel like she rules or reigns over me, then we have nothing else to talk about. Because then moving forward in this relationship, she will always feel like she has one over you.
It's okay.
And think it's okay. So when I'm with you, she feels like it's okay to text you. Yeah. She feels like it's okay to call you. If y'all out in the streets and we on a date, she may feel like it's okay to give you a hug. I mean, you know, at this point, I don't know what to expect. So at this, I don't know if she left him at that point. Yeah. No, she didn't. I don't think she did.
I think they broke up for a period of time
and then she got back.
Being back together.
Well, how do we because it's people like that in the world that keep going back to them same people that disrespect you and treat you wrong. Like, how do you get out of that mentality or that cycle and know your self-worth. Like,
one thing I will say is it is true, like people go back and it's like you be like, okay, you know he doing wrong, he gonna do the same thing over and over again, but it takes that person to really be like, I can't do it anymore. Like it has to click for that person. As much as we can preach to somebody and be like, we can see from the outside looking in, but I feel like a lot of times women, we see what we want to see. Like you gotta be real, you see what you want to see, and it takes a person to really be like, okay, who do I love more, you or myself? Whose happiness is worth more, you or myself? Because at this point, I'm not really staying. It's like you're staying to make him happy or temporary happy, and I feel like a lot of women stay because outside of that, they don't think that they're going to be happy. They're going to find anything better. They're going to, you know, be happy with that. Yeah, it's a comfortable place.
Like, even hurt gets comfortable.
Exactly. Hurt becomes
because you learn what to expect, and so you cope around it. And I think we have to take it a step further too, because it's not even necessarily that the disrespect with another woman. That's a big layer of it. But there's disrespect that builds, right? So it don't automatically go from that point. It doesn't even have to include another person. But if you feel like this person is not even treating you fair, it's not even the inserting of another individual, right? But you know, one-on-one, how are you being spoken to? How are you being handled in that situation? Do you even feel safe? If you are real with yourself, do you feel safe in that environment? And I think that that's where you as a person, my mom always would say, you have to show people how to treat you.
You do, and that's key.
You have to.
I was reading something too, and it said that first thing first is self-love. You gotta be real with yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta be real with your attitudes, your mentalities, the way you handle things. You have to first take a step back and look at, okay, when he does that, how am I responding?
Yeah.
When he does that, how is my mental state? Am I saying, okay, it's okay because he didn't mean it, or am I saying, nah, something's wrong here? Like, you have to look at yourself and be like, how is my mental right now to say that I'm really sitting in a situation?
And that's key, because mental kind of determines anything. Right. It determines if you even ready for a steady relationship. I will say this as a single woman, right? As a single black woman in America.
Girl.
That is one of the most, it can be a little bit complicated at times because one, you feel like there is no, you know, like, where the real man at, please stand up, you know. But something that really helps me is my faith. And I think that that's important. And I know that everybody don't believe in the same person that I believe in, you know, and there's different views out there, and that's okay. But my faith is what keeps me. My faith is what helps me. It's a constant prayer every day is, Lord, let me see myself the way you see me. Because if I see myself the way he sees me, then I see love. You know, unconditional love. Like at the end of the day, I'm okay with Felicia. And I can't be okay with somebody else and I'm not okay with myself. And I think that that's important. It's wholeness. Like, we think we need another half. No, you need another whole.
That is the biggest misconception. You cannot go into a relationship half made. Right. It doesn't work because when y'all never know how long that relationship will last. If he leaves, you're left half. Like, you're not whole. You need to be whole in your relationship. Know yourself, know your words, know who you are and what you bring to the table. That way, when y'all both bringing something to the table, you're not looking for somebody to bring something to your table.
And sidebar with that,
at all.
That doesn't mean you both have to be perfect.
No,
that's not, and it doesn't mean you both have to be mature, because we'll never be perfect until we die. We'll never have it all together. But what it does say is, me as myself, I am comfortable with myself. I love myself. That if you were to leave me today, I would still have myself, and the other person the same way. That together I love me, and I'm happy with every part of me. And if this just doesn't work, friendship, relationship, family, whatever it is, it's not just spouses, but whatever it is, romantic. I'm happy with me, and that's what we have to get to a point to. Courtney said something earlier, and it made me think about too. Self-love. Sometimes it is hard, and you have to think back on what you see. And when I say what you've seen is in your home. If you ever meet a lot of women who are like really confident, and the ones who are really confident, not the ones who are portraying to be confident or portraying to have it all together, but the ones who, it's because those affirmations, those things that fathers have instilled, those things that mothers have instilled. You've seen your mother and your father get through stuff. You know, even if it was a single mother or a single father, They told you how beautiful you were. You had curfews. You couldn't go out and hang with everybody. And a lot of times we didn't understand that as children. Right. But now that you're an adult, you're like, I'm so happy I couldn't go to some of the places that I wanted to go to. Or I'm so happy I couldn't do some of the things. Because in this day and time, in the day we are living in, you could be the most beautiful girl and have the lowest self-esteem because you think that there's someone else, because we're comparing ourselves to other women. And you think because she has this and you have that you're not good enough. And in this generation, oh my God, I pray for my daughter daily. In this generation, we tend to think that the less you show, the more beautiful you are. And we have to get past that, because if that's the case, if I'm not 100% confident with who I am, and you coming out half naked, my mind says you're confident. It doesn't say you're really not confident. Because if you were confident, you would cover up. Because this is what you get. You realize, baby, this is what you get, and this is what I'm worth. You know. And so I think it just starts from, this is something that when we have more children, the foundation is you get this stuff done when you're young. And but the beauty is, you know, unfortunately, everybody didn't have that. So the beauty is as you get older. It's never too late. You know, you could read affirmations, you could read your word, or you could read, you know, I remember I had online, if you Google just affirmations, daily affirmations, you speak that stuff to yourself.
You do.
You go in that mirror. You go in that mirror. Mary Jane played that on her show, but let me tell you, it will work in your life. Because in order for you to allow someone to love you, you have to love yourself. You have to love, and that means every role. That means every freckle. That's every dimple. That nappy head. That bald spot. Them toes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that because I had to go through that. Like, girl, you the bomb. You know what I'm saying? You the bomb. You may not like everything about you, but you gotta love. If you were supposed to be different, he would have created you different.
And that's honestly key. And I shout out to you, mama. I really thank God for my mom, because my mama, let me tell y'all, cause I grew up around, my mom's light skin, my grandma's dark skin, but like growing up in like, I think elementary, I went to like a white school predominantly, like it wasn't a lot of black people. And my mom made it a key, like, Courtney, I love your chocolate skin. Your hair is so curly, I love it. Your eyes are so, like, she drilled that in my head to where if I saw anybody, like, I knew I was popping. You couldn't tell me nothing. Like, it was just that serious. And two, I work at an after school program, and I have this little group called Just for Girls. So I like mentor younger middle school girls. Really? And I started this thing where, because one of the girls that I go to the after school program, she started going around asking people, rate me on a scale of 1 to 10, how pretty I am. Oh, Lord. And I was like, and she was bold enough to come to me and ask me that same question. And I was like, why do you want me to rate you? Like, why? She's like, I just want to see what people say about me. And I'm like, so if somebody gave you a 2, would you believe it? She was like, yeah. And I was like, wait, back up. Like, that blows my mind. So I literally was like, I challenge you. If you do this, I'll give you something free from Snack Bar, okay? Go home, look yourself in the mirror, and say, I am beautiful. And I dared all of them to do it. And I think 2 of them came back and did it. But it is so important to drill that into kids, because you don't know what they're getting at home. And the simple fact that she came to school and was asking people to rate me on a scale, and she was very serious about it. Like, it was not like she was just joking. No, she was very serious about it. So you have to drill that into people, like self-affirmation, self-love, like, you're beautiful. And I make it a point now to be like, oh, your hair is so pretty today. You look pretty. Like, I make that a point to make sure
that's another thing. We don't compliment women. We don't compliment women.
It's the competitive spirit on social media.
Social media is like the young girls on Instagram always like rate me, or to be honest,
if you don't get likes, you don't get likes. You ain't cute.
Don't like it. You gotta have big boobs, big butt, little bitty waist. Like, you gotta, the media
cleavage down here.
And I think it's important too that we validate our girls on more than just your looks.
Exactly.
Have you ever tripped about that? As women, we tend to, and not as women, let me back this up. When we tend to go to like a little girl, oh, you're so cute, and a boy, oh, you're so strong. And I think it's important that we begin to validate our daughters outside of physical appearances. So it's not that you're just so cute because your hair is so cute, or this, and all of that is a part, so we can't act like we so above it, right? That's all a part of who you are. So I need to hear that at home first, that my skin is good and my hair is nice. That should be told to me first in the home. But I also have to validate your intelligence. Right. You hecka smart. You know, you so girl. I mean, I ain't never heard
like you read. Like, you know what I mean? You have to begin to validate that. And I want to say this too, that it is a journey.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I was one who struggled with low self-esteem and constantly have to work on that. And I grew up in a home where my mama was constantly like, you are so beautiful, and trying to drill that in. But I think, like my sister said, it's media, it's everything that you see outside that you begin to bring in. So it's an everyday journey. It's an everyday work on yourself, right? And I think that it's something that's a part of the beauty of aging. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people talk about it, and I'm not one that jump for joy about it. Let me tell you this, but there is something that sort of begins to click in you and settle in you, and not in the sense that you get, well, this is all I'm gonna get in life. Let me sit down. Not like that. If anything, it pushes you to grind, but it's an acceptance that says, this I might want to work on this. I might want to change this, but this feeling good in your skin that begins to happen, and you begin to own that about yourself. And as I get older, I'm starting to do like who was it, Maya, and when they show themselves to me, I'm gonna believe them. And